Deep in the heart of Java, nestled among emerald rice paddies and whispering bamboo groves, lay the village of Kampung Damai. The name, meaning peaceful village, now rang hollow, a cruel irony in the face of the terror that had taken root. It began, as these stories often do, with an old woman. They called her Nenek Gayung. Nenek for grandmother, a title of respect, and Gayung for the water ladle she always carried. It was a simple coconut shell on a worn wooden handle, but in her grip, it seemed to hum with a power that sent chills down the spines of the villagers. Nenek Gayung was a wisp of a woman, her skin like crumpled parchment stretched over sharp bones. Her eyes, though, those were what haunted you. Black and fathomless, they seemed to bore into your very soul, seeing secrets you didn't even know you held. She spoke little, her voice a dry rasp, like leaves skittering across parched earth. Yet, when she did speak, her words were riddles wrapped in warnings, pronouncements that left a lingering unease in their wake. Many whispered that Nenek Gayung was no ordinary woman. Some said she was a shaman, her ladle a conduit to the spirit world. Others claimed she was a vengeful ghost, tethered to the mortal realm by some unfinished business. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain. Nenek Gayung was a harbinger of fear, and her presence in Kampung Damai spelled nothing but sorrow. The first sign was the whispering. It started subtly, a murmur on the wind that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared venture out after dark. It was easy to dismiss at first, attributing it to the rustling leaves or the gurgling irrigation canals that snaked through the rice paddies. But the whispers persisted, growing louder, more insistent, laced with a chilling undercurrent of malice. Farmers returning home from their fields late in the evening swore they heard their names hissed in the darkness, followed by the rhythmic clinking of metal against wood, the unmistakable sound of Nenek Gayung's ladle striking the edge of her metal bowl. Children, playing hide-and-seek in the fading light, would bolt from their hiding places, their laughter turning to screams as they swore they saw a hunched figure flitting through the shadows. The glint of a coconut shell catching the last rays of the setting sun. Fear, like a noxious weed, began to take root in the heart of Kampung Damai. Parents forbade their children from playing outside after dark. Doors were bolted, windows shuttered tight. Even the bravest of the villagers avoided going out alone, their steps hurried and their eyes darting nervously into the encroaching darkness. The whispers, once dismissed as figments of imagination, had burrowed deep into their collective consciousness, a constant reminder that something wicked this way came. Pak Budi, the village elder, was the first to disappear. A respected man, known for his wisdom and kindness, his absence sent a shockwave through Kampung Damai. He had been tending his small rice paddy on the outskirts of the village, a task he had performed countless times before. When he didn't return by nightfall, a search party was formed, their flickering oil lamps casting eerie shadows as they combed through the rice paddies. They found his tools abandoned by the edge of the paddy, the water still rippling from where something had disturbed the surface. The air hung heavy with a cloying metallic scent that turned their stomachs. And then, they saw it, a single, mud-caked footprint, far too large to belong to any human, leading into the dense, tangled jungle that bordered the village. Panic gripped the villagers. They knew, with a chilling certainty, that this was no ordinary disappearance. Nenek Gayung, they whispered, their voices hushed with fear. She had claimed Pak Budi, just as she had warned she would. The whispers had become reality, and the once peaceful village of Kampung Damai was now held captive to an unspeakable terror. Section 4. The Vanishing Villagers. The disappearances continued, each more terrifying than the last. Iwan, the blacksmith, vanished from his forge in the dead of night, the clang of his hammer replaced by an eerie silence. Baksari, the young woman who sold fragrant nasi goreng from her stall in the market, was gone one morning, her colorful stall left untouched, the scent of her cooking lingering like a ghost. The terror that had once been a whisper had now become a deafening roar, echoing through the empty streets of Kampung Damai. Those who remained huddled together in their homes, too terrified to venture out, even in broad daylight. The laughter of children had been replaced by a suffocating silence, broken only by the sound of their own ragged breathing and the frantic pounding of their hearts. Food supplies dwindled, hope along with them. Kampung Damai, once a vibrant tapestry of life and laughter, was now a ghost of its former self, shrouded in fear and despair. Fear, once a shared burden, now bred suspicion. Neighbors eyed each other with mistrust, whispering accusations behind cupped hands. Was it old man Harun, they wondered, his eyes always darting about, his hands never quite still? Or perhaps it was young Sidi, her beauty masking a darkness that chilled them to their core. The bonds of community, once unbreakable, were fraying under the strain of fear, leaving them vulnerable to the unseen evil that stalked their midst. Section 5. The Curse of the Gayung. The elders of Kampung Damai, their faces etched with worry and despair, gathered in the flickering lamplight of the village meeting hall. They spoke in hushed tones, their voices heavy with the weight of generations past, of legends whispered around flickering campfires and tales passed down from parent to child. It was the curse of the Gayung, they said, the ancient curse that had plagued their village for generations. Legend had it that Nenek Gayung was not a woman at all, but a malevolent spirit, bound to the ladle she carried. She had once been a powerful sorceress, they whispered, her magic fueled by the life force of the living. But her power had corrupted her, twisted her into something monstrous. She had been defeated, her reign of terror brought to an end, but not before she cursed the village, vowing to return and claim what was rightfully hers, the souls of the villagers. The Gayung, they said, was the key to breaking the curse. It was hidden somewhere in the village, guarded by a protector whose identity remained a closely guarded secret, passed down through generations of a select few. But the current protector, Old Man Harun, had vanished along with the others, leaving the village vulnerable to the full force of Nenek Gayung's wrath. Time was running out, and the villagers knew that their only hope lay in finding the Gayung and breaking the curse before it claimed them all.